Their Valentines are always the best. That's not right. Yeah.
Yeah, Raul.
Secondly, following on what Tom was just saying, Virginia was a lot about giving and making everybody feel accepted and comfortable and be themselves. And as a young student that came to the U.S. From Mexico, she really embraced me and those that came around the same time, and many more that came after us, from what I heard, and before us, from what I heard. And when remembering, Virginia and all of you became our real family here in the U.S. After we stayed here for a lifetime. And one of the things that I remember the most is her sharing and her cooking and doing the things, right? And sometimes the simplest things are the most precious ones and the ones you never forget. And being introduced to celebrating Thanksgiving and some of the home cooking that you do when you celebrate really was the beginning of a very long tradition. And we came to Virginia's Thanksgiving for many, many years. It's not until we moved to Washington State that we couldn't be there necessarily every year, and we started celebrating Thanksgiving among ourselves. But every time that we could, we would come down and we would be with her and with all of you. But one of the things that I think is we remember Virginia all the time, not only for all the Thanksgiving dinners that we spend at your home, but also because he introduced us to a very, very great dish, which is the yummy beans. And I don't know if there's anything special or anything about it, or everybody has them, every family, but for us I was like, oh, so this is what home cooking in Thanksgiving is all about. Because I knew about the turkey. We celebrate in Mexico with turkey for many things, but to us, yummy.
So you know, the yummy beans are the green beans with the cream of mushroom soup and the crunchy onions on the top, which are at our Thanksgiving dinner every single year. And we call them yummy beans.
Yummy. So yummy beans became something that we always, every year, look forward to. Say, hey, where are we going? It wasn't about the turkey, it wasn't about the desserts, although we love everything, right? But it was yummy beans. We want to have yummy beans.
That's right.
So, and as my daughters grew up, and they get introduced to that, and start celebrating, there's no Thanksgiving that we have without the yummy beans. And we feel that is a legacy, thanks to Virginia. Pass it on to us. We adopted it. And now my daughters will continue to do that. And it's going to be all in her memory. And for all those great times that we can spend together when we didn't know what to do on Thanksgiving Day because everything was closed and we don't know what to do. So we came to the neck rules, and Virginia was so gracious and so generous and so loving to all of us as a family that I will forever be grateful for her. And the same thing, I think I can speak for my wife and my daughters, that they also remember her very, very fondly, and we will continue to celebrate and pass on the tradition of the yummy beans.
Thank you.
One year we tried to modernize the yummy beans. Virginia didn't like that. Big mistake.
I have so many stories. And I just last 10 minutes I kept saying, do not cry, do not cry. But you know me, I'm going to cry. The amazing thing about Virginia, for all of us, was the teacher that she was. When you're a young 14-year-old, you absolutely do not relate to your mom at all. But for some reason, we all related to Virginia. She touched each of us in very different ways. She sort of knew what we all needed at different points in our lives. I definitely think of her as one of my main teachers of life, but mostly the mom of my best friend. And I will miss her. And I'm sorry for this. I'm just kidding.
By the way, pump her up.
Switch it up and tell something very funny, because then I will not cry through this. Elaine and I had an opportunity opportunity to take our moms to England on a very special trip. We actually, as they got older, we traveled a number of times with them. I'm not sure why we did that because it was crazy, but we chose to do that. And Virginia had one thing on her list going. First of all, she went to London a lot. She loved England. But this trip, we were actually going out to Oxford and doing a couple of different trips. She had one thing on her list, and she wanted to punt on the Thames. She wanted to go punting on the Thames. We were like, what the hell is punting on the Thames? But we were going to figure that out. So we're in Oxford. We figure out what punting on the Thames is, what you needed to do, and it was easy enough. It was actually walking distance from where we were staying. And does anyone know what a punt looks like? Anyone been on a punt?
Say what is punt.
A punt is a very skinny, kind of flat canoe, and you traverse it through the water with a big stick. So kind of a combination. It's like a flat gondola with the people that, whatever those guys are called, that has the big sticks. So we arrived, we had rented our punt, and we arrived there and realized there's not anyone who's going to punt for us, that we have to punt ourselves. And so they all pointed at me, because I was going to be the one that had to punt. So we get to the boat, and we realize our moms were how old at this age?
Oh, late 70s.
Or maybe
Your mom
even,
was 80, I
yeah, my mom was in her 80s. So our moms literally crawled on their hands and knees to get in the boat. They were completely gay. And Elaine looked, she goes, oh my God, if Tom and Ann saw us, they would kill us. They would kill us. So we get in the punt. It's super wobbly. We're for sure going to fall off. It was like very unattractive getting in the boat. We go off. It's beautiful. It's just picturesque. Everything Virginia wanted it to be. It was lovely. We decided to come back. And as we're coming back, we realized that a cocktail party has gathered out on the lawn where we're supposed to dock. And all you have is a stick. It was a little scary getting in. Once again, they crashed into the dock. Some people came and helped us. They were giggling the entire time. They loved it. And yeah, good sports. Virginia could not have been happier. So that was
Okay. Raimundo and I had two sons, and they basically did not have grandparents. He doesn't have any parents, and my parents lived far away and very rarely came to visit. So Virginia stepped in as the surrogate grandparent, even though I don't think she would have said that she was doing that. But when we would go down to her house, they had the grandparent experience with her.